happy, take their positions, and MC will tell us to be seated, and we continue the program. Thank you.
Wo nie?
My name last time out, they called me John Concert. seated. Thank you, be seated.
The Honorable Mayor of the Saldanha Bay Municipality, Councillor A. Reader, representing the Chief of the South African National Defence Force, Chief of Staff of the South African National Defence, Chief of Staff of the South African National Defence Force, Lieutenant General M. Ramantwana, Chief Human Resources, Lieutenant General M. Sichongaye, members of the MCC, the GOC Training Command, Major General S.G. Thongwa, generals and flag officers, senior officers, warrant officers of the Chief HR, Senior Chief Warrant Officer KJ Papule, Warrant Officer of the Training Command, Senior Chief Warrant Officer S. Biela, Warrant Officers, Non-Commissioned Officers, Councillor J.A.J. Gonza, Acting Dean of the Faculty of Military Science, Dr. F.L. Monama, Military Ombuds, Lieutenant General Retired B. Masondo, the Chief Financial Officer of the South African National Defence Force, Mr. E. Mababotsi, Chief of the South African Army Foundation, Mr. A. Ramkele, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Social Impact, Transformation and Personnel, Stellenbosch University, Professor N. Koopman, Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor, Strategy, Global and Corporate Affairs, Stellenbosch University, Professor M.S. Setla, members of the faculty, members of the Spouses Forum, sponsors, honorable and distinguished guests, recipients, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. That sounds like a celebratory moment. My name is Colonel Debokophilia Nare, and I will be your host for this afternoon. And co-hosting this event with me is Dr. Moses Kanyile. First and foremost, before we proceed, I'd like to welcome you to all of you to the South African Military Academy, the 10th best military academy in the world for 2025, after military academies of countries such as Japan, Russia, China, the USA, and others, as according to the Nubian magazine, a magazine that celebrates modern civilization. The Academy, in collaboration with Stellenbosch University, which ranks at number 350 for 2026 in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings for the second consecutive years, and within 30,000 universities, and also second in South Africa for the 5th consecutive years. So I'd like to welcome you all to the winning club. Before we commence with the festivities, allow me to inform you about a few administrative arrangements. If you need to go to the restrooms, the bathrooms are at the back, behind those two large doors. The gentlemen's bathrooms are on the right, and the ladies will be on the left. In case of fire or a bomb scare, please use the exits, as you can see them in front and also at the back, and let's gather at the parking area where we can take roll call. Should you need medical assistance, we have an ambulance on standby outside, and our medical functionaries will assist you. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to enjoy this hour ceremony with us. To start off with all these activities, I would like to request Chaplain of the South African Military Academy, Chaplain Mare, to come and grace this session with prayer. Chaplain Mare.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In our diverse and beautiful nation, we truly acknowledge and embrace all religions. And with that said, I do invite you to join as we read from the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6. The words from Paul says, "Being confident in this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ." Ladies and gentlemen, today, this award ceremony, a moment to pause and to recognize achievement, but also a moment to honor the journey that has led to this special day. Paul's words remind us that every journey of growth, every season of development, and every accomplishment begins with God, continues through God, and is completed through God. So God is doing a good work in you, and you will be celebrated today. But here's the wonderful news: He's not done. An award ceremony is a milestone, not a finish line. It reminds us that growth is a process and not a single moment. It shows through our dedication, it shows through our discipline, and it shows through our resilience. But it's also important to recognize grace, guidance, and the people that supported us. So wonderful as it is today for the students, we truly honor you for your achievement. And this is a proof of your ability, but it is also evidence that God is faithfully shaping your future. With this being said, the blessing is that the best is yet to come. Let us bow our heads and pray. Heavenly Father, on this special afternoon, we do recognize and celebrate every student that is going to receive something and the blessing that you have bestowed upon them. Lord, we truly pray that you will strengthen them throughout their careers. Just keep their mind sharp, their character formed, and guide them in every step. May every award today just once more show that you have blessed us with so much, but may we take this further with humility, with gratitude, and live with purpose, Lord. We pray that you will bless our families that supported us, bless the staff that taught us, and help us to truly take this organization to greater heights. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. I know that people would love to ululate and to clap hands, and I'm so ready for that. But I know that for them to be able to do that freely, they would need to be welcome here. And with that, I would like to welcome our Commandant, Brigadier General A.J. Castro, to come and welcome our guests. General Castro.
Somebody short is standing here. Do a side step, this 12 step. Colonel. Good afternoon to everybody here this afternoon. Our Military Academy family, all our honored guests. We are here to celebrate excellence. We are here to recognize our students, as was mentioned, but not only our students, our faculty, and our supporting staff in their academic achievements over the past year, sir. We will recognize individuals in subject awards, best in class. We will recognize our researchers. We will honor our publications, our publishers, and we will show them the necessary honor that they deserve this evening. It also gives me, as the Commandant of the Academy, Military Academy, great pleasure, sir, to have you and all our honored guests witness this event tonight, this event in excellence in academia. And with that, allow me to go through the protocol. It has been done just before me, but I think this is an important enough event to recap and to mention your names once again. The Honourable Mayor of the Saldanha Bay Municipality, Alderman Truter, representing the Chief of the South African National Defence Force, we have the Chief of Staff of the South African National Defence Force, Lieutenant General F.M. Ramanswana, our Chief of Human Resource, Lieutenant General M. Sitsongai, members of the Training Command, Major General S.G. Shlongwa, all our General and Flag Officers, our Senior Officers, our Officers, Warrant Officer, Chief HR, Senior Chief Warrant Officer K.J. Papoli, Warrant Officer of the Training Command, Senior Chief Warrant Officer S. Biela, our Warrant Officers, our NCOs, Councillor Kotza, the Acting Dean of the Faculty of Military Science, Dr. F.L. Munama, the Military Ombudsman, Lieutenant General Retired V. Masondu, the Chief Financial Officer of the South African National Defence Force, Mr. E. Abotsi, General Manager of the SA Army Foundation, Mr. Rampere, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Social Impact, Transformation and Personnel at Stellenbosch University, Professor Koopman, the Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor, Strategy, Global and Corporate Affairs, Stellenbosch University, Professor Tetla, members of our Spouses Forum, our sponsors, our recipients, ladies and gentlemen, indeed a distinguished audience that I have before me and that we, as the Military Academy family, have with us, not only tonight, but also tomorrow. General, tomorrow, we will salute the graduating class of 2025 on our military parade, and then the ceremonies will conclude on Thursday at Stellenbosch University with the capping of our students as they ceremoniously receive their degrees, as their degrees are bestowed upon them on Thursday afternoon. So, as I mentioned earlier on, we are here to celebrate. And as we look back, it's been a very busy year. But as the Commandant of the South African Military Academy, I'm extremely proud to tell you all that we have achieved our objectives this year. In the domains of education, training and development, we have 100% achieved our objectives. In addition to that, we are a military academy. The curriculum for the section military development, it too was 100% achieved. This culminated, the achievement of these objectives culminated approximately 3 weeks ago with our second semester examination series, and then concluded finally last weekend, Saturday past, with the successful and safe return of our Trans-Enduro team, which is our capstone leadership program for our first and second years after a week and a half on the road. And at the same time, we had our third years returning from their reintegration tour as they went around various units in the SANDF and started to become acquainted with what they were going to go back into as they returned from their 3 years of undergraduate study with us. Those were the highlights of our curriculum, our official curriculum. But outside the official curriculum, there's so much that goes on at this institution. And it would not be possible without the support of our Chief HR, of our GOC, of the Training Command, and of all the members, the support members, the faculty and the students here at the Academy working together as one team. And I just want to highlight one major event that took place this year that makes me so proud, because it involved so many people and so many stakeholders, and that was the celebration of our 75th birthday. It was a big event that was 1 year in the planning and executed over a 3-day weekend. The theme throughout that weekend was 3 Ps, focused on our people, our programs, and our property. Our people, it was an opportunity to say thank you to all those that have come before us, to all those on whose shoulders we stand, to all those who have left a legacy on which we, the current class of 2025, build upon. It was also an opportunity to say thank you to the staff and the members of this academy who are taking the next step into the future. It was also an opportunity to have Chief HR with us to celebrate and to say thank you to the Training Command and to Chief HR for his support. The second P was all about our programs. And what I tried to highlight with that is that our programs continue to develop and to grow and to remain in step with the requirements of the SANDF. Otherwise, we've got no purpose. And a good example of that is the Defence Intelligence Program. It has been a long road in getting it established. It is now a few years, it has now been running for a few years. It is well embedded and fully deployed at the Military Academy, and the Defence Force benefits from the product of that program. Another highlight of our programs, which by the way are all underwritten by our academic partner, Stellenbosch University. So when you get your degree, you heard Colonel Nare explain to us in terms of where we stand as a military academy, where Stellenbosch University stands as a university in the global environment. So you're getting something substantial. So another highlight of our programs is that as of 2025, all our undergraduate programs, apart from the DI program, are available on a part-time basis. The final building block was the program in technology that from this year on became available on a part-time basis. What does that mean? That means that any member of the SANDF, civilian or uniform, can study in the natural sciences, the economic sciences, the social sciences, and obtain a degree, whether you are a residential student here or you are out in the working environment doing it on a part-time basis. And why that is further important is because it is the only program that exposes members to the sciences, science, technology, engineering, and maths. That is now available part-time. I think it's a major achievement. And our third P is our property. Generally, it's important to get the most out of our programs, to get the most out of our students, our people, that we have an institution, infrastructure that is fit for purpose. And I'm very proud to say, and you will witness this today and tomorrow, this institution is in tip-top shape. We employ the broken window principle. If something breaks today, it is fixed by tomorrow morning. And we're very proud to be able to run our programs in this type of environment. It's an environment where you can be proud to bring your family, your friends, and expose them to the property, the infrastructure that we have. But the biggest highlight of this event was the feedback afterwards. General, we got so many phone calls, emails, word of mouth, letters from people that went through these halls 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, up to 60 years ago, coming and conveying to us one message. Thank you for hosting the event. Thank you for inviting us, and well done on what we see. Congratulations on what we see. It is better off today than when we were there. So that is a tremendous motivator to us to continue on the path that we are and taking this institution to the next level as a prestige unit of the SANDF. And as I conclude, I get excited and I can talk about the institution all night, but I want to say one more thing. One more thing. We also went about, during the course of this year, selecting students for the 2026 intake. And what I'm so proud about, General, is that the grouping coming in next year, subject to final registration when the students arrive in February, it looks like we are going to have a class in the natural sciences, the typical BSc in our technology program, of 35 students. And why is that important? Because that class is normally 5, 6, or 7, or 8 strong. It is a major highlight. We have got students coming in next year that are going to study in the sciences. It is a benefit to the SANDF in the future, to the DoD, and to this country. We need so many more people to study in the natural sciences. I'd like to say, General, that it is because of super planning and that it's going to be sustainable. It may just be a once-off, I don't know. But I wanted to get that message across. It's important and we need to make it sustainable by hook or by crook. So, as I step off, I trust that this sampling of positive sentiment over the last year inspires all our stakeholders to be associated with this academy, to be proud that you are associated with this academy. We are proud to be associated with you. And we ask for your continued support going forward. We ask you to enjoy the evening with us and to celebrate in recognizing all the achievements tonight. You are all welcome.
Thank you, General. I would like to call upon Dr. F.L. Monama, the Acting Dean of the Faculty of Military Science, to come and inform us what the purpose of this award evening is. Dr. Monama.
then on the protocol, as read brilliantly by the Colonel, the MC, as well as the Commandant of the Military Academy, Brigadier General de Castro. And also recognizing the bosses, I still need to earn a salary. So let me just confirm Chief Human Resources to you and Professor Koopman, Mr. Bosch, my merits, please, on both sides. I want to be sure of that. Thank you very much. I want to actually, based on that, why are we here? The significance of this event is driven by, I would say, maybe 9-10 months of hard work, 9-10 months of sweat by the students, by the staff, by the military academy family. From the groundsman to the commandant to the leadership in Pretoria, the students themselves, the academic staff, and everybody else. Not only in terms of organizing this event, but in ensuring that our recipients, you are here to bear witness to the recipients as the main, I would say, special guests of this event. They've done well, they've worked hard, and they've been recognized. As I speak to you today, or this evening, we are expecting 140 graduates on Thursday, Stellenbosch. Of those graduates, at undergraduate level, okay, congratulations, you've done well. At postgraduate level, honors, you've got 9 distinctions cum laude. At master's level, you've got 2 cum laudes. At PG DIP, postgraduate diploma at the War College, we've got 3 cum laudes. And then, to top it all, we have got actually 2 PhD graduates. Those are the achievements of this institution. Dynamite comes in small packages. We are making a difference, and we have to acknowledge that. And just, as we celebrate the milestone for the students, we are saying today, of all those names that we mentioned, from first year, second year, third year up to a PhD, you always have to have those who just stand out. Those who have an outstanding and who have achieved outstanding, who have achieved more, who are outstanding in their achievements. And those are the ones that we want to celebrate tonight. And those are the ones that we have to bear witness to tonight, as you will see. It's also from the student side, as well from the staff side. And these achievements have to be celebrated. And the reason I'm here also, at the same time if I'm around, do I have to go down and come back and, all right, I'm just trying to save time. At the same time, it's also to recognize Professor Koopman, and he's going to be the one who's going to celebrate with us and also share his wisdom as we celebrate these achievements. And one thing that I've mentioned previously at the main campus was education and universities are there in service of society. In service of society. And I just twisted it around to say, yes, but military science is there in defense of society. That's our contribution. Now, Professor Koopman, as I welcome you on stage, let me briefly read your CV. If I read all of it, we'll be here until tomorrow. Professor Koopman is the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Social Impact, Transformation and Personnel at Stellenbosch University, and is a Professor of Public Theology and Ethics. He was the Dean of the Faculty of Theology at Stellenbosch University. He was a founding member and chairperson of the Global Network for Public Theology, and is a fellow of the Institute for Theological Inquiry in Princeton, New Jersey. And that's the United States. I think it's still the United States, unless something has changed. His research focuses on things like inalienable dignity, healing, reconciliation, embracing justice, responsive freedom, equality, as well as the reciprocal and transformative impact of universities on the various spheres of society, including the domains of politics, economics, the natural environment, civil society, and public opinion formation. It is involved in the public discourses in the academy, churches, in the broader society, both locally and internationally. Let's welcome on stage Professor Nico Commandant.
Program directors, acting dean, thanks for the warm word of welcome and introduction. I acknowledge what we call tonight the military family and the academic family. Our local mayor, General Ramatswana, General Sichungaye, General Longwa, General Mbata, General Masondo, General De Castro, all our generals present tonight, all our officers, our military family. I acknowledge the presence of acting DVC for international relations, my dear colleague, Professor Chehla. I acknowledge the presence then also of our acting dean and also all the academic and admin staff present tonight, and especially also our top performing students. May I add, all protocol observed. The first time that I attended this great event was in 2014, just shortly after Professor Russell Portman, previous rector of the university, suddenly passed on, and I was requested to represent the university that evening. And since 2014, I've been here almost every year. And this is perhaps the last year that I'll be here in the current capacity, since my term as DVC will come to an end at the end of June next year. And I'm very happy for those who greeted me today and said, "You look so young." So there's also emotion. General Masondo, I still remember signing on behalf of the Department of Defense the agreement, the current agreement with Stellenbosch University. So there is some emotion also in tonight. I hope they will invite me still afterwards also. I want to speak to the question, why do we have defense forces? Why do we have universities? Why are we gathered here today? Why do we celebrate tonight? It's simply because each one of us saying we want to build a better society. We want to leave this world better for the next generations than we have received it. We want to build a specific type of society. We want to build a society that is described in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, and specifically in the Bill of Rights of our Constitution. And Stellenbosch University took our formulation from this Constitution when we developed our transformation policy. society where there is healing of all wounds for all. A society where there's justice for all. A society where there's freedom for all. A society where there is equality for all. And if we think about our country, and if we think about societies in other parts of the world, then we will say things don't look good. Dignity is violated. Healing is hampered. When we talk healing, we talk physical healing, psychological healing, economic healing, political healing, social healing, ecological healing, but also moral healing, and even spiritual healing. Healing in all its dimensions, we can say, is hampered all over the world. Justice is betrayed. Freedom is raped. Equality is denied. Then we say, as partners gathering here tonight, the Department of Defense, the Military Academy, the Faculty of Military Science, the university, as partners we say, we want to contribute to a new society. We contribute in a special way, we say tonight, through our graduates, through our alumni. And Stellenbosch University colleagues, when we think about what are the type of graduates that we want to offer to the DOD, to the SANDF, to the continent of Africa, to this country in particular, then we say we want people who are critical and innovative thinkers, effective communicators, responsible citizens, entrepreneurial and employable people. We want lifelong learners. We want dynamic leaders. We want well-rounded persons. And I emphasize lifelong learners. One of the great theologians never concluded his correspondence with Professor so-and-so. He always concluded with STTH, student of theology. Schleiermacher, to say I'm always a student. And student means that I'm curious all the time. I want to improve, to learn, to understand better till the day I die. We also say that we want our staff and our students to adhere to what we call the e-care values. E-care referring to excellence, to compassion, to accountability, to respect, and to equity. And now I must do, under the protection of the hosts here tonight, and our acting dean said that the Defense Force is there to protect us. So under that protection, I want to invite anyone to do what my wife normally does. She cannot be here tonight. She's almost every year with us, but she, looking tonight after our dead, and she would blow a kiss at me when I'm talking. And I remind you, the kiss would mean keep it short, stupid. So if I don't see a kiss, I continue. But let me say a few words on these 5 values of the university. The first one is excellence. And General De Castro emphasized excellence tonight. Excellence is to say no to underperformance, no to mediocrity. Our country will not survive if there's underperformance and mediocrity. I must tell you, once after a church service, I really felt that this pastor didn't prepare well. And after the service, one of my colleagues said, "Oh, brother, thanks for the sermon." And I just said to not friendly also. And I asked the other colleagues who congratulated him to say, did you mean it when you said thanks for the sermon? He said, "No, well, I just wanted to encourage him." I said, "But that's not honest. We must, in a loving way, be honest and say, really, is this the best you can do? We mustn't praise mediocrity. Somebody said, you mustn't praise a fish because he swims. He's supposed to swim." But of course, we appreciate each other. We, however, say no then to underperformance, no to mediocrity. But we say yes to excellence, to those who strive to excel, to exceed expectations. We say yes to excellence, giving your best in terms of your talents that you have received, in terms of your potentialities, in terms of the opportunities that you receive. We also say no to performance anxiety. When we talk excellence, we often feel a type of anxiety. Will I be good enough? Will I really exceed expectations? But we talk excellence, not through performance anxiety, but excellence through performance joy. We support each other. We help each other. We encourage each other so that each one of us can do our best. That is performance joy. It's empowering excellence. It's in a sense contagious excellence. If you radiate excellence, those around you also improve. And we strive for excellence through working alone. There are that lonely hours when you work hard. But we also strive for excellence through working together. There's the saying, beware of the person who cannot be alone. Beware of the person who cannot be together. Alone and together. We strive for excellence, and tonight is a night where we celebrate excellence, inclusive excellence. I had a primary school teacher who said everyone at that school there in the Northern Cape, Lime Acres, a small town, 160 kilometers west of Kimberley, where General Mpata comes from. In that little town, that principal said, this boy didn't do well academically, but I'll give him for his friendliness, his kindness, and he gets his certificate. So we strive for inclusive excellence, making sure that everyone's talent is developed optimally. And then secondly, accountability. The new rector of Stellenbosch University, Professor Naresh Ramchugana, emphasizes that we cannot talk about accountability if we don't start with self-accountability, calling ourselves to account, to give account of what we're doing. And we need to call each other to account in a loving way. Great responsibilities are entrusted to us, and we should give account of how we fulfill their responsibilities. And then, of e-care, I move to the R. That is respect. That you put on your spectacles again. Respect. Look again. See again. Think again. Consider again. Reach better judgments, develop better discernment, better decisions, better deeds. Respect the dignity of everyone, also the dignity of animals, plants, and nature. See that on every human being is written, fragile, handle with care. We are living in societies where we should look strong, but here inside is fragility. Let us learn to embrace vulnerability and to look at every human being, knowing there is written, fragile, handle with care. And then equity. Let's work for more equilibrium in our societies and in all relationships. We know, together with Brazil, we are not world champions in soccer, but world champions in the big gap between those who have and those who don't have. That ain't right. We need to work for societies where there's more equity, more equilibrium, where some don't have too much and others too little. And equity also means we live for fairness in all relationships. Economic relationships, political, but also gender relationships. Relationships in all walks of life, more fairness. Fairness means justice had come home. We cannot talk justice, but we don't act fairly with each other. The second one that I didn't refer to is compassion. E-care, compassion is the seed. And our world needs people of compassion. And I'll explain it in just 3 ways. Where there is compassion, there is communal, collective sympathy. We feel with each other. Ons voel saam. When one is happy, we share in the happiness. And where one is broken, we share in the sorrow. Sympathy. Compassion is also empathy. Empathy is to say, I think myself into your shoes. I look through your eyes and I really try to live in your skin. And we need to create in our own country where polarization is growing and in a world where polarization is growing to say, let's get into each other's shoes, into each other's skins. That's the value of compassion. To say, I live with sympathy and empathy. And the third one is to live with interpathy. Interpathy is to say we come from different backgrounds, nationalities, countries, creeds, cultures, colors, languages, but we develop interpathy. We think ourselves into the skin of others, and we feel ourselves into the skins of those from totally different backgrounds. We are called today in the world to help build interpathy, that a pluralistic world, people feel and think themselves into the shoes of other cultures and people from all types of backgrounds. I want to conclude, colleagues. I didn't see a kiss, but I'll nevertheless conclude. I encourage, especially this top-performing student of ours, students of us, drink from the wells of the university. Drink from your cultural and spiritual wells. Keep on drinking from your intellectual wells. Drink from the wells of the universe, of the Creator, the wells of fellow creatures, the wells of all of creation. Let's drink from our wells. And let's remember, we can feel overwhelmed overwhelming. But let's start each one, and make our small contribution. May I for a moment quote an Afrikaans song and I'll translate it, with which I grew up. Kleine druppels water, kleine korrels sand, vorm die oseane, bou die vaste land. Small drops of water, small grains of sand, form the oceans, build the continents. I thank you.
Now that deserves a thunderous round of applause. Thank you. Generals, allow me to stand on the protocol that has already been read out by my colleague, by the general, by the professor. Does not overdo it, but I'll be amiss if I don't recognize the fact that we have our mayor, our number one citizen, around. I'll be amiss if I don't recognize the fact that the top leadership of the DOD, military, civilian, descended on the West Coast in numbers. If I don't recognize that the top leadership of the university is here, that is no good. But guess what? Once everything is said and done, we are here because of students, the recipients. But I also know that they can't be here, they won't have been here if the parents weren't here, would they? They wouldn't. And today we are recognizing their performance because the teachers have done a good job. The support staff have done a good job. They will be recognized by the support of the sponsors. I'm not reading any protocol. I'm just recognizing what you guys have done, the contribution. Some of my students, now I need to remember this, call this structural functionalism. We need each other. No student, no parent, no student. No teacher, no student, etc., etc. We need each other. Now the prof here, the commandant, and the acting dean said a lot of things. Now I was listening. I know you might not believe this. I was listening. They said a lot of things, but one thing common is about excellence. Excellence, excellence, excellence. Now, excellence does not happen in a vacuum. We're not saying people should not perform. Let us perform. But what the prof has said, what the acting dean has said, what the general has said, we need to perform excellently. Now, some of you might have attended the class, the English class. Some of you were with me in English class last week. No, that other week. English class on the word advent. This is what happens when you don't listen in class. This is what happens. We were taught, generals, admirals, profs, and all the people. Adverbs modify a verb, action word. You must have done something in a particular way. You must have performed excellently. That's why we are here. So So it looks like we will be talking excellence today, the whole day. And well done to the recipients. Now, on that excellence note, I would like to invite the General, Lieutenant General Shumai, the Chief, HR of the DOD, to come forward as we start with the main business of the day. Now, I need the cameras, I need everything in order, in place, as the main functionary, the main people that we are here about, the recipients, are going to be coming forward one by one, as we recognize them. Now, the first set of awards are subject awards. The subject awards are awarded to the best student in each subject per year group, provided a minimum average of 75% was obtained. Now, the first one is the Aeronautical Science 1, which goes to COAS Mbogu from the South African Air Force with an average of 85%. CO Mbogu. Defense Intelligence 1 by CO80 from 1 from the SA Army, average 86%. Economics 1, SETA TM Sneyman from the SA Army, with an average of 94.5%. Military Professional Development 178, Candidate Officers SS Masambu from the SA Army with an average of 82%. Military Ethics 114, awarded to Second Lieutenant N.W. Masambu, SA Army with an average of 83%. awarded to Second Lieutenant R.C. Matsekoyen from the SA Army with an average of 87%. Second Lieutenant Commandant. Military Leadership 144, Second Lieutenant S. Makunke from the SA Army with an average of 87%. Second Lieutenant Makunke. Statistics 1, TDM, awarded to Candidate Officer B.M. Matukane from the South African Air Force with an average of 75%. Military History 2, awarded to Second Lieutenant M.C. Gwinda from the Defense Intelligence Division Army with an average of 86%. Second Lieutenant Gwinda. The voucher is sponsored by the DI division. The voucher is sponsored by the Defense Intelligence Division. Political Science 3, awarded to Lieutenant T.J. Pito from the South African Army with an average of 75%. The next one is awarded in absentia on Public and Development Management 3 is awarded to Second Lieutenant N.S. Mataban from the South African Army who got 75% average, but that is in absentia. The next one is English 1, 114 and 144 awarded to Major Singh Kanta from the Ghanaian Army with an average of 79%. Political Science 1 is awarded to Major Singh Kanta from the Ghanaian Army with an average of 76%. Defense Intelligence 3 is awarded to Lieutenant D.A. Steenkamp from the South African Army with an average of 78.5%. Military History 3 is also awarded to Lieutenant D.A. Steenkamp from the South African Army with an average of 75%.
Such high marks are very, very disciplined. To continue with these awards, the top achiever first year, the overall best first year student in the Technology and Defense Management Program with an overall average of 75% is Candidate Officer T.I. Madamela from the South African Air Force. Award for Military Geography 1, awarded to Candidate Officer I.T. Dow from the Defense Intelligence Division with an average of 83%. The voucher is sponsored by the Defense Intelligence Division. Who is also the best overall first-year military geography student with an average of 83%. Subject Award of the Applied Labor Law 314, Lieutenant S.P. Kolo from the South African Army with an average of 86%. Lieutenant Kolo is also the top achiever for the third year with the best overall law student with an overall average of 86%. from the South African Army with an average of 83%. Lieutenant Mokwaha. And Lieutenant Pofwaha is also the best overall third-year military geography student with an average of 83%. Thank you. It is sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. Award for Aeronautical Science 2 goes to Sergeant I.J. Fenter from the South African Air Force with an average of 82%. Sergeant Fenter. Sergeant Fender also achieved 82% for Computer Information Systems 2. Again, Sergeant Fender achieved a 76.8% as the best overall second-year student in the technology program. The subject award for Industrial Psychology 114, 124, and 114 goes to Cadet Officer J.C. Elias from the South African Army with a 78% average. CO Allies also achieved an average of 93% for Public and Development Management 144. And she also achieved a 76% as the best overall first-year student in the Human and Organizational Development Program with the average essay of 76%. The subject award for Auditing 2 goes to Sub-Lieutenant from the South African Navy, 8 water, with an average of 85%. Sub-Lieutenant Water also achieved an average of 86% for Military Management 2. She also achieved 82% for the overall best second-year student in the Organization and Resource Management Program. And she is the best overall second-year student with an overall average of 82%. Mark Joseph from the South African Army with 93%. Lieutenant Joseph also achieved 90% average on contract law 214. She has also achieved 75% on industrial psychology 2, 214, 244, and 254. He has also achieved an average of 84% on public and development management too. And she's the best overall second-year law student with an overall average of 84.3%. And also, she's the overall best second-year student in the Human and Organizational Development Program with an overall average of 8.63%. And her gifts are sponsored by Lieutenant Colonel Associate Professor Nell and Colonel Dr. Els, retired.
In the spirit of excellence, we also have the Masiza Spirit Floating Trophy sponsored by AMSA CSI. This trophy is awarded to the first-year student who rendered the most commendable community service in the immediate era during years of study. And this goes to Captain L.A. Mulatwakai. Let me do that properly. It goes to Captain L.A. Mulatwakai from the DI Division, and the voucher is sponsored by DI Division and the gift by the Faculty of Military Science. Military Management 1 goes to Second Lieutenant L. Kumalo from the South African Army with an average of 83%. Lieutenant Al Kumalo is also receiving an award for military professional development 178 with an average of 82%. She's also taking home top achiever first year, which is the overall best first-year student in the organization and resource management program with an average, overall average of 80%. And if that were not enough, she's also taking the Netherlands Attaché Floating Trophy, which is awarded to the best overall first-year student, provided that he or she attained an average of 70% or more, and she attained 80%. The gift is sponsored by The S3 GIS Fortune Trophy is awarded to the best third-year student in Geographic Information Systems on condition that he or she attained an average of 70% or more. And this goes to Lieutenant N.T.S. Sneyman from the South African Army with an average of 88%. The gift is sponsored by Esri. Must be careful. Some of these trophies are quite weighty, so must be careful. The SIPA trophy is awarded to the best PDM student who attained the highest average mark over the 3 years of studies, provided that he or she attained an average of 70% or more. And this goes to Lieutenant R.T.L. Diamonds from the SA Army with an average of 76.75%. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Commercial Science. The Industrial Psychology Trophy is awarded to the best industrial psychology student who attained the highest average mark over 3 years of studies. And this year it goes to Lieutenant Z.J. Joseph from the South African Army. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Commercial Science. The top achiever third year trophy goes to the final year student who attained second best results over 3 years study. And this year goes to Lieutenant R.L. from the SA Army with an average of 73.1%. The Toyota Trophy is awarded to the best student in the program of Human and Organizational Development who attained an overall average of 70% or more. and this goes still to Lieutenant R.L. from the South African Army with an average of 74.8%. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty for Commercial Science. The Metropolitan Trophy is awarded to the best third-year student in the program of Organization and Resource Management, provided that he or she attained an average of 70% or more. And this year goes to Lieutenant T.L. of Miester from 5%. Lieutenant of Miester. The gate is sponsored by the Faculty for Commercial Science. The Profrec Floating Trophy is awarded to the best accounting students who attain the highest average mark over 3 years of study. And this goes still to Lieutenant T.L. of Mr. The subject award on military management 3 goes to Midshipman K. Mahetla with an average of 80%. Midshipman The award for Nautical Science 3 also goes to Midshipman K. Mahetla from the SANAV. The SAS Sardana is awarded to the best 30th nautical science student who attain overall average of 70% or more, and that goes to Midshipman K. Mahetla. And the group is sponsored by the Sea Safety Training Group led by Commandant Daybreak. I'm not done. When you MC, you charge. I will charge. The SA Navy League Floating Trophy is awarded to the best nautical science student who attained the highest average mark over the 3 years of study, and this goes to K. Mahetla. Wow. This is sponsored by Captain Paul Jacobs. Well done. The Defense Intelligence Floating Trophy for the best first-year student is awarded to the best first-year defense intelligence student who attained an overall average of 70% or more, and this year goes to Candidate Officer A.T. Shongwane from the South African Army with an average of 78%. The Defense Intelligence Floating Trophy for the best student in the Defense Intelligence Studies Program. The overall is awarded to the overall best student in the Defense Intelligence Program with an average of 78.8%. And that still goes to Candidate Officer A.T. Shongwane. Subject awards. Defense Intelligence 2 for this year goes to Second Lieutenant L.C. Munyai. African Air Force with an average of 75%. The Military Geography 2 goes to Second Lieutenant Munyai with an average of 85%. The top achiever second year, which goes to the best overall second year military geography student with an overall average of 84.8%. Second Lieutenant Munyai. Top achiever second year, which is awarded to the overall best second year student in the Defense Intelligence Studies program with an average of 78%. Second Lieutenant Munyai. Also, the Defense Intelligence Floating Trophy for the best second year student, which is awarded to the best second year Defense Intelligence student who attained an overall average of 70% and more. He got 78%. By the Defense Intelligence Division. The Airstream Floating Trophy is awarded to the undergraduate student who attained the best results in geography over the 3 years of study on condition that he or she attained an average of 70% or more. And this year goes to Lieutenant A.R. Governor from 80%. It is sponsored by Iceland. The Department of Military Geography Floating Trophy is awarded to the best third-year student in remote sense and practical, on condition that he or she attained an average of 70% or more. And that still goes to Lieutenant Governor. 87.9%. And the gift is sponsored by the Department of Military Geography. The Denel Aviation Floating Trophy is awarded to the best third-year student in the program of Technology and Development Management, provided that he or she attained an average of 70% or more, and this goes to Lieutenant Governor with an average of 77%.
With that said, General, you can take a break, sir. I'd like to invite Ms. Rosa Barros from the South African Army Foundation to come and hand over the following trophies. The South African Army Foundation Floating Trophy for the best first-year student is awarded to the best first-year South African Army student who attained an overall average of 70% or more. The member to ascend the stage is Second Lieutenant L. Kumalo from the South African Army who attained an average of 80%. Army Foundation Floating Trophy for Best Second Year Student is awarded to the Best Second Year South African Army student who attained an overall average of 70% or more. The student Lieutenant V.R. Joseph from the South African Army attained an average of 80.63%. The South African Army Foundation Floating Trophy for the Best Third Year Student is awarded to Lieutenant A.R. Davender for attaining the 77.67% average. To please hand over a gift to Ms. Barros. Maybe it's very heavy. Thank you, Ms. Barros. I would like to call upon Lieutenant General F.M. Ramanswana, the Chief of Staff of the South African National Defence Force, to come and hand over the following trophies. General, sir. The PP Lobster Floating Trophy is awarded to the undergraduate student who attained the best results during the past year on condition that he or she attained an average of 70% or more. Sub-Lieutenant South African Navy A. Boulder from the South African Navy attained an average of 81.88%. Sub-Lieutenant Boulder. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. Trophy overall best third year student. This student is Lieutenant A.R. Davender from the South African Army with an average of 77.67%. J.G. DeForce Floating Medal, which is a coin, is awarded to the final year undergraduate student who attained the best results over the 3 years of study. This is Lieutenant T.L. Goffmeester from the South African Army with an average of 76.41%. Shongai to please come and hand over and bring to General Ramanswana. General Shongai. Thank you very much, General.
The next set of certificates are service certificates, which are awarded to all postgraduate students who presented academic papers at a recognized national academic symposia or conferences during the past year. The student presented a paper titled Barrett's Books, Exploring Factors Influencing Postgraduate Academic Achievement. This was done at the University of Stellenbosch in November this year, and the certificate goes to Lieutenant S. Sikubela. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Commercial Science. The next certificates are awarded to all postgraduate students who presented papers at recognized national or international academic symposia or conferences during the past year. The student presented a paper which was at a conference hosted by a Turkish institution, and the paper was titled Modeling Nanofuel Conduction and Thermal Criticality in an Automobile Catalytic Converter. That was done by Candidate Officer I.G. Chopper. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Commercial Science.
Thank you very much.
He also presented another paper at the first International Conference on Innovative Pathways for Sustainable Futures, which was hosted by Val University of Technology in Gauteng. The paper is titled Numerical Modeling of Nanofuel Flow Dynamics and Heat Transfer Mechanism in an Automotive Exhaust Catalytic Converter. The gift is also sponsored by the South African Air Force and the Faculty of Military Science. The next paper was presented at the South African Mathematical Society in Pretoria, at the University of Pretoria, and the title of the paper was Entropy Generation of Magnetoradiative Copper Water Nanofluid Flow. And that was presented by Petty Officer K.S. Shive. The voucher is sponsored by Defense Intelligence Division and gift sponsored by the Faculty for Military Science. He also presented another paper at the International Mathematics and Statistics Student Research Symposium, which was hosted by an American institution. The paper was titled "A Numerical Simulation of Unstable Nanofluid Flow over an Exponential Stretching Surface."
That our own students in uniform are writing such papers. We can see that we don't have to look outside for solutions. We have people who can bring solutions within us. And then I would like to quote one of the leadership philosophy of the Commandant, who says, our own Commandant, General Castro, I was trying to create a can-do and just do it culture, and that is what is happening here. I would like us to give a round of applause for all our recipients. And the following trophy for the Center for Military Studies, CME's Floating Trophy Best Honors. It is awarded to the honor student who submitted the best research paper during the past year on condition that he or she attained 70% of the paper. These papers are evaluated in terms of a number of agreed upon criteria by a representative panel. Captain C.T. Molobele from the Defense Intelligence Division attained an 88% average on her paper. A voucher is sponsored by the Defense Intelligence Division, and the gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. And Captain Mulbela again is receiving the ABSA Saldana Floating Trophy, which is awarded to the best overall postgraduate honors student with an average of 80.38%. The Center for Military Studies CME's Floating Trophy Best Honors is awarded to the honor student who submitted the best research paper during the past year on condition that they attained a 70% average for the paper. Lieutenant H.G. Ndo from the South African Army attained an average of 88%. And the gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. Lieutenant Dong is also awarded the Amrise Trophy for the best postgraduate student in the Defense Organization and Resource Management for attaining a 76.13 average percentage.
Tata Zonke.
Organizational Development Floating Trophy is awarded to the best postgraduate student in the HOD, provided that they attain an average of 70% or more. And Second Lieutenant O.J. Pitsuana from the South African Military Health Services has attained 75.88%. Lieutenant Pitsuana. Her gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. Floating Trophy for the best master's student. This trophy will be awarded to the best master's in military science student for research for the year on condition he or she attains 70% or more. Candidate Officer I.D. Chokwe from the South African Air Force attended 87%. The gift is sponsored by the South African Air Force and the Faculty of Military Science. Floating Trophy for the Master of Philosophy. This trophy will be awarded to the MPhil student who obtained the best research assignment for the year on condition that they have attained 70% or more. And Colonel O.C. Philyun from the South African Army attained 78%. Colonel Philyun. Postgraduate Diploma National Floating Trophy. The trophy is awarded to the best postgraduate diploma student in Defense Studies National, provided that they attain an average of 20% or more. Lieutenant Colonel S.A. Lohi from the South African Air Force attained 79.16%, and this trophy is awarded in absentia. And the best postgraduate diploma International Floating Trophy. The trophy is awarded to the best postgraduate diploma student in Defense Studies International, provided that they attain an average of 70% or more. This trophy is awarded in absentia to Squadron Leader M. Agianim Boateng from the Republic of Ghana's Air Force. with an average of 80%. Thank you very much, General. I request General Di Castro to come and provide or hand over the gift to General Sichonga. General Di Castro.
Thanks, General. I think let's give General Sichonga can I ask Professor Koopman to step forward, please? Now, these awards, these trophies are going to be awarded to the faculty members, not the students this time around. The first one is the Pro Scientia Floating Trophy, which is awarded to the faculty member who attained the highest research output during the previous academic year, measured in terms of subsidy allocation. And this year it goes to Lieutenant Colonel Dr. S. Els from the South African Air Force. And the gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Commerce Science. The next trophy, which will be awarded in absentia, is the Pioneer Fishing Floating Trophy, which is awarded to the faculty member who rendered the most commendable community interaction and community service during the preceding year, as judged by the Social Impact Committee. And this goes to Commandant Professor J. President Hood from the South African Navy, but is awarded in absentia. The next trophy is awarded is the General Aviation Trophy for Academic Excellence of a school or a research division. And this year it is awarded to the Faculty of Military Science School who demonstrated outstanding performance over the past year. And if I can ask Dr. Mchao to step forward for the Division of Defense Science and Technology. Dr. Mchao.
And for the next award, because it's received by one of us here, for the purpose of avoiding nepotism, bias, I would like to Professor Koopman. In research, we all know that triangulation across multiple data sources helps mitigate bias and improves analytical readability. So to hand over this award, I'm going to request Dr. Captain South African Navy Mike Tekiso to come and hand over and announce this gift. This is our Dr. Tekiso.
Is awarded to members or team who made a significant contribution to the promotion of the faculty on a broader level. These members are recognized for their constant contribution to the advancement of the broad interests of the faculty. The award goes to Dr. M.B. Kanyili. Dr. Kanyili.
Very humbly, this is ambush. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Some of these things get too much. All right, the next category is the category on faculty achievements. To have a sister like this. To have a sister like this, I'm going to catch her officially. All right. The next categories, I think ask you to hang there for one more minute. I would like to ask Professor Nell to hand over a gift to Professor Bookman. Is Professor Nell here? Thank you. If I can ask Acting Dean, Faculty of Computer Science, Dr. Munama, to step forward, please, to hand out these awards. Awards of recognition. The first one goes to It goes to Professor O.D. Magine, who received the Stellenbosch Research Excellence Award on 30 November 2025. Professor Magine. And the gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Computer Science. for physics in military science who is receiving this in absentia. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. Another one goes to Associate Professor Ivan Enrico for academic promotion to Associate Professor in Military Geography, also awarded in absentia. Another recognition goes to Associate Professor R.R. Leroux for academic promotion to Associate Professor for Military Technology, also awarded in absentia. The next one is awarded to Dr. H. Snyders, who successfully completed his second PhD in military science through Stellenbosch University Faculty of Military Science. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. Next one goes to Dr. L.P. Wellman for successfully completing his second PhD in economic geography domain through the University of Western Cape. This one is also awarded in absentia. The next one goes to Dr. M. Diabele for successfully completing her PhD in broadcast science through Northwest University. Dr. Diabele. The gift is sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. Next is Miss M.V. Teletane, who successfully completed her Master of Science MSc in Mathematical Statistics with distinction from the University of Cape Town. Miss Teletane. Sponsored by the Faculty of Military Science. The next one is Lieutenant Colonel A.M. Sehone, who successfully completed his Masters in Military Science Technology Physics. Lieutenant Colonel Sehone.
guests, faculty members, proud family, students, please allow me to stand on protocols observed throughout the evening. This morning, General De Castro said to me, when he sees my name, he sees the vote of thanks. So General, I'm going to own it, I'm going to make it part of my portfolio. So once again, it is my honour and my privilege to express our heartfelt thanks to all of you for being here and celebrating our student and staff with us. First and foremost, thank you to the Chief Functionary, the Chief of Staff of the South African National Defence Force, Lieutenant General Ramatswana, for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to assist in handing out the trophies and for being here, so thank you. Also, a warm word of thanks to the Chief Human Resources, Lieutenant General Sishwangari, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Social Impact, Transformation and Personnel from Stellenbosch University, Professor Koopman, and the Chairperson of the SA Army Foundation, Mr. Rampede, as well as Ms. Boris, for handing out these certificates and trophies as well. And then Professor Koopman, and I always say you are always part of the family, so once again, thank you for very insightful words. I'm sure that everybody received the message very well. Thank you for that. And we are also deeply grateful for our sponsors, whose generous support in times of severe financial constraints has helped us to recognise and reward excellence this evening. So for the SA Army Foundation, Mr. Rambela and Ms. Boros, the Sea Safety Training Group, Commander Dave Reed, Captain Paul Jacobs, the Department of Military Geography, S3, Mr. Peter van Jaarsveld, the Department of Criminal and Public Law, and South African Air Force, as well as DI Division. Thank you so much, it's much appreciated. Your commitment to education and engagement with the Faculty of Military Science uplifts not only the individuals but also the broader society as well. So to my colleagues in faculty whose dedication to teaching, to research and mentorship has made tonight's celebration possible, thank you. Your hard work inspires every student and helps shape their academic achievements this evening. A special word of thanks to the proud parents, the spouses, the partners and families, those who are present and those who cannot be here. Your support and encouragement was instrumental in the students' success. We know the sacrifices made for them to be here. This evening is also your celebration. I must also thank everyone who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this evening a success. Brigadier General De Castro, once again for your continued support, thank you. Ms. Fasson and the Faculty Awards Committee, who have been working very hard in the background for weeks to make this event run like clockwork. Major After, who was thrown into the deep end this year. Liesel and Colleen for wrapping these and just for general support as well. Thank you to Colonel Nori and Dr. Kamile for being excellent hosts this evening. Chaplain Marie, thank you, sir. And then to the students, a special word of congratulations once again on all your achievements. I say this every year and I mean it. You are the reason why we are doing what we do. Your success makes every late evening and sleepless night worthwhile. Your enthusiasm, your perseverance and curiosity are the true engines of this institution's success. We look forward to seeing the remarkable contributions that you will continue to make throughout your careers. This is not the end of your achievements, and it is my sincerest wish that you become lifelong learners. Lastly, thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. Your presence affirms the value of academic excellence and community spirit. If I neglected to name anyone for their contribution, please accept my humble apology. I know that your contribution is appreciated. May we continue to support one another in our shared pursuit of knowledge and of growth. So thank you all, and I have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Professor Nell. I think this will be my last quote. It's a quote by Nelson Mandela, who said, "I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb." The professor has said already that this shouldn't be the end. We're looking forward to see the great things that you're going to do in the Defence Force and in your careers academically. We have reached the end of our program, and please allow me to mention the following arrangements. The RSM will give us the command to stand up, and our leadership will then go out to the back to the combined club on the western side of this facility. And please note there's a cash bar on the other side. We would appreciate if you use it. And also to avoid long queues the other side, ladies and gentlemen, you can use the bathroom facilities here, or else we will be delayed this side. And also, what I'd like to say, I'm grateful that this year I haven't been the short one. Hello, here in the podium. I'd like to thank the Commandant for affording me this opportunity. There's been 3 great years of hosting this event. I'm really humbled, sir, and I want to tell you that I've grown tremendously from this opportunity. And to the audience, you have been such great and excellent audience, and I really appreciate you. And I wish that you should give yourself a hand of applause